Yo, what is going on, guys, and welcome back to another YouTube video. And today I'm going to be giving you guys a starter guide sort of breakdown of how the game actually works for the first Descendant. Now, as somebody who's played a lot of Warframe, there are a lot of similarities. I mean, this game is basically Warframe, but with maid dress upskirts, which I'm not going to complain about. But if you've never played a game like this before, if you haven't played like Anthem or Outriders or Warframe before, I'm still going to try and do my best to explain the basics of it to you, of how you can upgrade your character, upgrade your weapons, and how gearing works in the game, and how to navigate the game's menus, just so you can hit the ground running and hopefully not feel so lost, because the game doesn't make it very obvious on how you have to do things. And a lot of the times, when it makes it, detailed, it's a little bit too detailed and people can get overwhelmed. So, I don't have a script for any of this, and I've tried recording this a few times, so please bear with me. So moving on to the inventory screen, there are a lot of things to kind of break down here. The first thing that you should look at is over here at the top right. Those are your currencies. So these are your basic currencies. Caliber is the premium currency. Queeper is the upgrade currency for modules, which is basically Endo. And then gold is your common, currency. Credits, silver, etc. On the left side here, you have your character level and your mastery rank. So each character has an individual level. So if you go to the Descendant tab, you can see the individual level for each character. Leveling up characters and weapons proficiency. So you can see the weapon dropped at level 21. That's what it says right there, 21 Thunder Cage. Or it didn't drop at this level, sorry. This one dropped at level 22, but my proficiency with it is how much you've used it, and you can track your proficiency by clicking on Weapons List. This is also where you can see all the different types of weapons. There's 4 different types: General, Special, Impact, and High Power. So General and Special are kind of like your most common, well, General is the most common type of weapon. So this is the, workhorse, SMG, assault rifle, LMG type thing that you use to kill hordes of mobs. Special rounds are weapons like laser beam weapons or certain sniper rifles, things like that. Impact rounds are stuff like a scout rifle, some snipers, hand cannons, things like that. And then high power are your really heavy hitters. So this is like grenade launchers, rocket launchers, shotguns. You can carry very little ammo of these, but they pack a really heavy punch. And here you can see all of them as well as your proficiency with them. You can see their proficiency level 12. So as you increase your proficiency with weapons and increase your character's levels, up to a maximum of level 40, you'll increase your mastery rank. And the reason you want to increase your mastery rank is because it gives you different benefits, mainly increased inventory size as well as module capacity, which I'll get into in just a second. And if you're familiar with Warframe, you'll know exactly how this system works. It's just something that you kind of need to do in order to increase your power, especially the module capacity. This, where it says weapon module as well as Descendant module capacity, that determines how many slots, how many upgrades you can put into your character. So it's very important that you try to level up all the characters and all the weapons that you get your hands on so you can make them stronger. Now, weapons can drop at a specific level. Like I said, this one dropped at level 22. However, this one, the Thunder Cage, is a legendary, an ultimate rarity weapon that you get through the campaign of the technical test. This drops like at level 9 or something, or level 1, and you need to upgrade it in order to actually make it usable. The way that you upgrade it is by using a system called weapon transmission. So in order to do that, you have to go to this NPC over here. It's called a workbench. So the repair station. So let's just go there right now. You can make a waypoint, by the way, so that way you can just know exactly where to go. You'll see the icon right there telling you where to go. Alright, so this is the NPC. This is the workbench. You simply just walk up to it, hold E, and you click on weapon level transmission. Now, if you've played Destiny, this is literally the exact same system. You take a weapon, and then you basically shove another weapon into it, and it'll give you the level of that weapon. Now, the type of weapon does not matter. It doesn't matter the type, doesn't matter the attack power, any of the stats. None of that matters. All this transfers is the level. In order to do this, you need an item called a precise phase exchanger. You can craft these at the NPC called Anais, which is right behind you right here. So this bitch is basically the foundry. This is where you craft everything, characters, weapons, and upgrade materials. So click on her, click on enhancement material, and here you can see it, precise phase exchanger. This takes 10 minutes of real life time to actually craft, and in order to craft it, you need this thing called liquid metal. Now, how do you get liquid metal? When you hover over it, it literally tells you acquisition info. Press F, and it'll tell you you can get it from a quest called weapon phase exchanger, don't discard unsatisfactory weapons, and this little icon tells you that that quest is not repeatable, so you can no longer get it from this quest. The other way to get it is by dismantling standard and rare quality weapons. So those are basically blues and purples. If you go to your inventory, you'll see this is a rare and this is a standard. So by dismantling these weapons, you will get some. So if I go here, and I'll just mark this as junk and dismantle it, boom, I got 10 liquid metal. So once you dismantle enough items, you can go ahead and craft that thing. It takes 10 minutes, and then you can use it to level up a weapon. The reason why you would want to level up a weapon in this looter shooter is because there are god rolls. So if you click on weapon readjustment, you can select a weapon. When weapons drop, they drop with these bonus stats. So you can see when I hover over mine, it says firearm critical hit rate, bonus firearm attack versus Legion of Darkness versus Colossus versus Order of Truth. Those are rollable random perks. So if you get a roll that's like God tier, you want to save it and then level it up. You can also change it. So for example, this one is the lowest level, right? You want to keep the higher ones. So here I got a legendary roll on bonus fire attack versus Colossus. So this is like the highest tier that you can possibly get of this stat. And Colossus is a enemy faction, so that's pretty good. I can lock it. So that way when I re-roll my stats, this one will not change. So I'm going to lock that, I'm going to lock the crit, and then when I click on readjustment, it's going to cost me 5 fine-tuning axis and 25k gold, and then boom, you can re-roll these. So yeah, once you have a god roll, you can go ahead and level it up and keep it with you as well. So overall, that is how weapons work. Now, you can also upgrade weapons. So this is, again, a similar, very similar system to Warframe. You see this little icon on the right side. You click this, and this is where you add modules. So this will normally be blank, just like this. Let me get rid of that. This will normally be blank. So when you take a look at this, you have 9 slots to put mods. So these mods at the bottom here give you different things. For example, this one gives me attack plus 15%, plus 1.5 critical hit rate. So you can improve the power of the weapon. And as you add things to it, right, you can see the applied value. So click save, and that's how much you're adding onto the weapon. So if you take this off, save, and you press tab, these are basically the base stats of the weapon. And then when you put a mod on it, you save, it'll show you how much it'll go up by. Now, these mods have a couple of components to them. So when you hover over one, let's go look at an unleveled one. When you hover over it, you see at the top right, this little corner here, it tells you a number, that's 5. That is the capacity cost. So although you have 9 cards, every item in the game has a module capacity. So when I put this mod on, it says it costs 5, right? So it's going to fill up by 5. So now out of my 43, I only have 38 left. So you need to keep in mind that you only have 9 slots, but you also have to keep it under the capacity. It will not let you just, put on as many things as you want in every single slot. You will eventually run out. See? You don't have the capacity for it. Because we're at 38 and this costs 10, so that would put me at 48, which I just can't do. I can only put something that is within my budget here that isn't a duplicate mod. So there we're at the cap, now I literally can't put anything else. Now, there is another, so how do you maximize this? Well, as you can see, some of the slots have a little symbol on them. Those are called socket types, or basically mod polarities. So you can actually come here and filter. So you see that little symbol, click on the socket type. That's a cerulean socket type. So if you click on filter and click on cerulean, it'll show you all the mods that fit in this slot. Now, why would you want to mix and match these, or why would you want to match these, is because it halves the cost of the mod. So this mod currently costs 10 capacity, but if I put it on a matching slot, it only costs 5. So if you want to put all, fill all 9 slots with high level mods that give you a lot of power, you're going to have to match the sockets. All these empty ones that don't have a symbol, they have no discount. They don't have anything in there that you can use to reduce it. So how do you add more of these so you can basically have one in each slot? Click on Module Additional Settings and click on Assign Module Socket Type. This will allow you to use a crystallization catalyst to put whatever mod type you want in whatever slot you want. This is currently not possible in the technical test. In the real game, you will have to go through the same process. So you see this crystallization catalyst, you're like, okay, how the hell? That's a lot of items. I need murky energy residue, macromolecule biogel, mixed energy residue. How do you get all this stuff? It doesn't tell me. Well, you can press J to open the journal. When you open the journal, you can press Access Info, and this is basically an in-game wiki that tells you all these things. So in this case, let's go to Enhancement Material, and there it is, a crystallization catalyst. Click on it, and it's going to show you all the items that you need for it. And when you hover over them, it says Acquisition Info. It'll show you where it drops. So you see you get one from a quest, Something Can Be Improved, but this is a non-repeatable quest. So the other way that you get it is by killing a monster inside these missions, the Forgottens and Sterile Land Normal Unknown Laboratory. And if you actually click on this, it'll highlight it on your map. So this is the mission that you want to go to in order to kill those mobs and farm the parts that you need. So just keep that in mind. Whenever you're confused about how do I get this item, how do I get this, how do I get that, look for it in the Access Info tab and you will be able to find it. So that's how you half the cost of the mods. But there is also another thing you can do to increase the capacity total of your weapon, and that is by clicking on Max Capacity Up right there and using an Energy Activator. So again, this is currently not, achievable in the technical test, but you can buy these from the shop for 1200 caliber, which I'm assuming is going to be like $12, which is super expensive. Anyway, you can apply this once per item, and it'll increase the capacity of that item. So that is how you can min-max builds in the future. You get your high-level mods, and you half the cost by putting them in matching slots, and increase the module capacity using an activator. Now, how do you upgrade this mod from 0 to hero? You do that at an NPC called Cillian, I believe? Yeah, so this dude. So this K-pop wannabe. So this will show you all the mods that you have equipped on your character and on your weapons. So if you want to increase the level of a mod, you click on it, and this is locked behind mastery level. So as you increase your mastery level, as you can see here, I can't level it up to level 8. The cap is 10 for some mods, 9 for others. So for example, for this one it's 9, but for this one I believe it's 10. Yep, 10. Anyway, just click on it, put it to the level that you want, and then click on Enhance. And this costs Creeper Shards, which is basically Endo, and Gold, which is the basic currency. Boom. And there you go. So now it is stronger, but it has an increased capacity cost. This is also the same way that you upgrade your character. You click on Descendant module, and this will open a menu for you to put mods on your character. Here, you can hover over your skills so you can see how much they're being improved by the mods that you're putting. The most important thing about this menu is seeing the element and the type of the ability. So for example, Bunny, most players play her focusing on her third ability, Lightning Emission. So right above where it says Lightning Emission, you can see that it says Electric. That's the element of the ability. And then at the right, it says Singular. So that's the type of ability. There are different words they use for this. They use Singular, Dimension, whatever, Fusion. I think this one is Fusion. Yeah. So they use different types of words for this. The reason why it's important to note that is so that when you look for upgrades, you can actually just type in the search bar over here, Electric, and it'll show you all the mods that you have that give you electric bonuses. So right there you see skill electric power plus 44%, skill cooldown. So also if you're focusing on this ability, it's a singular ability. So you can type singular. And it types singular. And it'll give you mods that give you, this one gives you skill power and skill singular power. So if you know what abilities you're looking for, you can type it here in the search bar and just kind of filter it that way. You can also type attributes that you're looking for. So let's just say I want to decrease the cooldown of our abilities. Just type cooldown. You want to increase the strength, so type power. You want to increase the duration, type duration. You want to decrease the cost, so type cost. And so on and so forth. So the search tool is very useful. You can look over here to see what you want to look for, and then you can search your inventory for it. Now, Descendants also have two things that separate them from weapon modding. So you see these two highlighted modules, a sub-module and a skill module. So the sub-module works in the opposite way of a normal mod. So those mods, you can't put normal mods here. It will not let you. The only mods you can put there are sub-module mods. And these mods don't really actually do anything for you. They are just kind of like utility-based. So this one changes the way your grapple works. This one makes you melee with a sword instead of your fist. It doesn't matter what they do, honestly. At least the ones that we have in the technical test are garbage. Their purpose, their main purpose, is to increase your capacity. So you see here that it says capacity cost, right? The thing is, instead of consuming capacity, so normally when you put a mod on, it takes away capacity. But submodules increase capacity for their level. So you can see their capacity costs 6. My capacity went from 40 to 46 because it increases it by the cost type. Now, when you put these mods in a matching slot, I can't currently do this, but this is the same way that it works in Warframe. If I were to put this, you can see it's a malachite socket type, right? If I put a malachite socket type on this mod, it'll actually double the amount of the capacity that it gives me. So it'll give you, instead of 6, it'll give you 12. So this little note here that says skill module, you also cannot put regular mods on it. You can only put skill module mods on it. Now, these skill module mods are character exclusive and they change the way the character works. So as you can see here, it says changes maximum power into a form that causes damage around Bunny. Maximum power, is her 4th ability where she shoots like an electric beam. So if you put this mod on and hit save, it changes it. As you can see here, it actually changes the description of the mod. It's a completely different animation, and all the effects and everything are totally different. There are some that are really strong. We haven't seen all of them yet. I would hope so. This one for Bunny is a little underwhelming, as far as I can tell, but nevertheless, they are very expensive. As you can see, they're 16 capacity cost. They are extremely expensive. So this will most likely require a socket type to be implemented for you to use any sort of build with it, because it is just way too much. But that is how character modding works. Make sure you read your abilities so that you know what you're looking for, so that when you put it on. Also, you can't put 2 mods of the same type. So you see this one, it says focus on singular. This is considered a focus mod, or a mod of the focus family. So I can't put another fusion mod, another focus mod. So this one says focus on fusion, focus on electric. I have to choose one of the focus mods. The same thing with the master mod. So for example, this one says electric master. If I type master, I won't be able to equip another master mod either. So keep that in mind. Some of these mods come in a set and you can only have one of them at the same time. Now on the right side here, we have 2 things, reactor and external components. So external components basically just give you defensive stats. You can choose from defense, max HP, or shield. So if I click on this, these basic ones, as you can see, max shield, defense. Now the higher rarity external components have set effects. So as you can see here, they not only have additional stats, where this one gives me the base stat is increased defense, right? 362. But this one also gives me max HP and module drop rate increase. So this means that modules are more likely to drop when I have this on. Now, I don't know if you actually want more mods to drop or not, but I guess if you're farming one specifically, maybe this would help. The important thing about these is that they have set bonuses. So as you can see here, it says Battle Aesthetics. That's the name of the set bonus. The 2-piece set effect gives you 5% crit rate for your skills, and the 4-piece set effect gives you 10% increased skill power and 10% skill cost reduction. So they're very strong. Essentially, you need all 4 of them to be the same set. So you're going to be farming for these eventually with some God Roll substats as well. I don't know what other substats can drop on these, but I'm going to assume that some of them can be offensive. And lastly, this thing at the top is a reactor. So reactor gives you skill power and attack power, and they have a whole lot of things going on. So right there, it says the amount of skill power that it gives you, and that is fixed based on the level. And then right below that, it says optimization condition Thunder Cage mounting. Now the word mounting is probably some weird mistranslation from Korean, but essentially what it means is that you have the Thunder Cage equipped. Now what is the Thunder Cage? This SMG. So you'll see here that it says reach skill power 160. My skill power is currently 1240. Now if I take this off, you can see that it no longer reaches that criteria. It no longer meets that criteria. So it doesn't give me that 160% increased skill power. So my skill power is now a smoj ass 775. But if I put it back on, boom, optimization criteria met, 1240 skill power. So that's a quite significant upgrade to have that optimization condition. Now the other optimization condition that you see right there, it says missed skill power 100. That's because I don't have skill power equipped on my character up to 100%. So if I go back to my Descendant upgrades, on the left side you can see applied value, skill power 25.7%, which is coming from my Electric Master mod. It gives me 25.7 skill power and 11.2 electric skill power specifically. So this is the value that that reactor is looking for, and it is not currently at 100%, so it's not giving me that bonus. The other thing is, this is giving me toxic skill power boost ratio, but I don't have any toxin skill, so I'm not making use of that at all. It also gives me singular skill power boost ratio. So luckily, Bunny's third ability, Lightning Emission, is considered a singular skill. You see that right there? Electric singular. So that is benefiting my damage. And you can actually see that my skill power on the ability right there, the third ability, is 1488. Now if I were to swap this with another reactor that had a lower level, or it's boosting my electric instead of the singular, you can see that the ability would be doing 1383, which is less. So yeah, reactors are a way of increasing your ability damage significantly. So a God-rolled reactor would have, you know, specifically the stats that you're looking for to cater to your build. But that's basically it, guys. That is a quick overview on the first Descendant, on how the characters work, how gearing works, what stuff you should be looking out for. I know this video is a little bit long-winded and I didn't cover every little aspect of the game, but hopefully now that you kind of understand, you can, I don't know if you've played Warframe before, you'll be able to very quickly pick up on the similarities, augments, aura mods, endo, you know, polarities, all these different things, mastery rank, you know, crafting, the foundry. It's all very, very similar. So if you guys are interested in a game like this, I highly recommend giving Warframe a try until the first Descendant comes out. They said it comes out summer 2024, so that should be within the next 2 to 3 months. I will personally be playing it. I will hopefully be covering it as well. I'm enjoying it. It has some flaws, it has some issues, but I'll save that for another time. Anyway, I want to thank you guys for watching. I hope I helped. I hope that this kind of introduces you to what you're going to be, you know, working with in the game. So yeah, it's a mix of Destiny and other games like that. So yeah, I thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.